with Damn Word. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos. I have an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. She turns 2 on Wednesday. So I don't even know how to deal with that yet. I feel like she was just born. I feel like my middle son was just born and he's almost 4 now. So I don't know. But as you can tell, my background changed. We moved the couch, we moved the TV, dog bed's in the way. So it's what you get now. We're hoping to replace the couch, but I don't know when that'll be. It could be months yet, so who knows. But we moved everything so there was space for a large sectional if we decide to end up getting a new couch. But I guess we'll see what happens. Today is a collaboration with a bunch of secular moms, and we got together to show you guys some books that we think homeschoolers should read and books we think homeschoolers should not read. The playlist will be linked below, and I'm just going to get right into the books I like and the books I don't like, I suppose. We'll just do that right away. My first thing is going to be stuff we haven't done yet. I had to let the pups in. They are incredibly muddy, so if you see them running around, they apparently found a mud puddle somehow out in that snow. So they are roaming around and probably going to cause a ruckus, but they were outside barking at people, so I didn't have a choice but to let them in. But like I said, I'm going to get right into the books that I really love, and well, the books that we're not using yet, but I want to use as my kids get older. So the first one is going to be my incredibly well-loved set of the Chronicles of Narnia books from when I was a teenager. So, I mean, they are loved books over here. I have all of them, obviously. I want to read these with my kids. I really do. So hopefully, as they get a little older, we will read these, or they can read them themselves. The other set of books that I want to get around to reading are the Harry Potter books. Barefoot Within the Trees does have a literature guide with them, but I want to wait until my daughter's in 5th grade before I start those. Some really amazing books I've come across is this Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright. This book came in our, well, it comes in one of the Timberdoodle kits. It did not come in my Timberdoodle kit. I want to say it was the 1st grade or kindergarten kit. I'm not sure. So it's just this beautifully done day of the week poetry book. So there's one for every day of the year, and they're beautiful. And then of course there's the very first book like that I came across, which is Sing a Song of Seasons. This one I bought off of Amazon forever ago, and this one is literally gorgeous. Actually, I think Timberdoodle Timberdoodle sent me. So I bought one of these myself because I wanted to order it from Timberdoodle, and they didn't have any copies at the time. And then after the fact, they had extra copies and they sent me one for review. So I actually have 2 copies. I'm thinking I might do a giveaway with one of the copies at one point. So if that would be something you'd be interested in, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. But the other one is this Sing a Song of Seasons, poems for each day of the year. This one is also just as gorgeous. This one is season related, while the other one is animal related. And I love these. One of the other things that we got that I absolutely love is this big book of science and nature book. This is one of the Timberdoodle books that I got. I want to say I got it in exchange for review. If I did, I will leave the link for that below for you. This book is amazing. In the first half of it, it has the Berenstain Bears Almanac, where it goes through each of the seasons and the months and any like holidays. It does have Christmas and stuff in here and Halloween. So if that's something you're not interested in, there is that, just so you're aware. Then it has the nature guide in here, where Papa Bear teaches you about the animals and plants and anything nature related. And then there's facts from actual facts about nature from Actual Factual Bear. And then towards the end, there is the science fair, and that teaches you about machines and matter and energy, and it even has a experiment towards the end. So it kind of goes through the Berenstain Bears science fair, and then at the end it has some experiments about energy, and like here it teaches you about energy with a balloon and an airplane. This book is well loved. We got this when my daughter, I believe, was in kindergarten as a book to review from Timberdoodle, and I've used it every year since. We have literally paged through at least this once a week and read it to my kids. The other stuff is literally anything from Osborne. So this is only a chunk of what I happen to just grab off the shelf that I own, but like these Osborne beginners, we have reptiles and ants and rainforests. I know we are working on the bees ones with my kids right now. I have weather ones. I mean, I have tons of these beginner books. I probably have almost all of them. Then, of course, there's the Osborne Encyclopedia. I have my first encyclopedia. I have them both. They're both from Osborne. I love them. I use them often as well. We have like this planet one. It has music that was made for each of the planets. This is one of the Osborne music books, and this one's all about planets. Inside my very first encyclopedia, I happen to also have a few of these my very first science books, and I think I have the body book as well, and probably a few others. In case you're curious, you either get these or get the encyclopedia, my first encyclopedia, because the my very first series and the my very first encyclopedia are all the same books. So everything in one of these, my very first like science book or my very first body book or anything like that, or my very first dinosaur book or however they're worded, they are all inside the my first encyclopedia book. So my suggestion is, if you're ordering them yourself, either order the my first so you have each book individually and you know what you're grabbing each time, or grab the my first encyclopedia book and don't grab these, because there's really no point in having both. And I just apparently have a lot of both, because nobody told me that actually when I bought my first encyclopedia book, because when I bought my first encyclopedia book, I also bought the my first body book, or human body, or whatever it is. We also have this Why Do Things Die. My oldest has always really struggled with death and people dying and how that works, and she gets really emotional. We had a dog pass away when she was 3 and she still cries. So we do go through this. I did buy this specifically for her and explain death a little bit more, because I was doing a horrible job at it and Osborne actually did a really good job at it. So we do have this. I do love that book. The Look Inside Your Body book. This came in our Timberdoodle kindergarten kits. World of Bees. What Are Germs? Wild Weather. Like I said, these are just a few things. We also have like What Are Clouds, but one of those pups chewed it up. I still have the book and I still plan on reading it, but it looks worse than this does, but it is there. There's also basically anything that Bookshark would have as a read aloud. Those are great. These ones came from our science level A. We have the Magic School Bus. This one is Inside a Hurricane. We have I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, but Wangaria Tree of Peace. She's the lady from Kenya that planted a ton of trees basically everywhere. And I think I'm going to actually pull this out for Earth Day this week. Then we have like Why Do the Elephants Need the Sun? Basically about how and why we need the sun and how it works, how it grows plants, how it keeps us with our gravity. I mean, it's our wind, it just explains all the ways that the sun works. There's this Plant to Seed book. This is really amazing too. It's literally everything from seed to plant. Then we have, I love everything from Timberdoodle too. I have a Timberdoodle history book that is currently inside my Independence Day unit, so I can't pull it out because it's currently in the basement in a binder and I don't feel like going down there and finding it. But it was a like 24-hour history comic book thing. That's really awesome. These Wile-E-Coyote books are really awesome. We have all 4 of them. These are from our Timberdoodle 2nd grade kit. We also have this Find Out Science that's from our Timberdoodle, or our Bookshark Science A, Bees and Wasps. Like I said, we were already using. And our Timberdoodle kit also came this Lost Trail. It's also a graphic novel. I highly suggest graphic novels. They are easy for kids to read and they love them. These graphic novels are really awesome and easy to read for children. This one, I mean, the wording is a little more upper level, but this Lost in the Woods book is really good. I remember reading it as a kid and I liked the book then. So there's this word find book. My youngest did rip it, but this one teaches the 8 parts of speech as if they had put on a show. So it's all about teaching the 8 parts of speech, like I said. So punctuation and nouns and verbs and prepositions and adjectives and like all of them. It's all in here. This came in our Timberdoodle 2nd grade kit as well. This book has been great. It's a really fun way to learn stuff. Then into a few of the other stuff that we do plan on using and reading. I got these from my Knowledge Crate. We have Save the Planet. I'm Trying to Love Garbage. Ralph S. Mouse. I love all these I Survived books. We have the I Survived 9/11 when we do our 9/11 series. This one is the California wildfires of 2018, so that's very relevant. They also have like past ones like the 1919 Great Molasses Flood or the Battle of D-Day. Like they have a ton of these in a really easy to read form for kids that makes it so they really get to more understand and learn about history, honestly. And I really like these I Survived books for that reason. Also, another one's from Osborne. I got these Understanding Physics, and I got the Understanding Politics and Governments. I think they have a few more of the Understanding books. It's like Osborne Understanding and then whatever it is. But I thought Physics and Political Governments would be a good one to start with. And then, okay, we have the Wish I Had a Wookiee and Other Poems for Our Galaxy. I got these this book specifically for our space unit. I thought it would be fun to read a poem to the kids. It's not a day of the week or anything. It's just, I think there is 118 Star Wars related poems. And then, of course, right now, our current read aloud is Echo Mountain. This is a literature study we are doing with Barefoot Within the Trees. I can leave the link for that for you as well. But those are really everything we're currently reading or have read that I really love and can think of. Like I said, those Sing a Song a Season and Tiger, Tiger, Bergen Bright and Berenstein Bears Big Book of Science book. Those are like my top 3 must-have books for anybody with kindergarten age kids. Or honestly, the poem books could go for any age, but Berenstein Bears, the science book, is probably elementary and younger. I don't really have any books that I would say are a no-go for homeschooling families. There are books that I didn't like or my kids didn't like, but they're not books that I would say were books that are for nobody should read. And none of these books you should read unless you've paged through them yourself and are definitely okay for your kid to read them. Like don't read this based on the fact that I said it was good for my family and then it's not good for your family. Like that's it's huge, and especially like Echo Mountain. There is death and gore and, there are things in this book not everybody would want their child to know or read. And same with Harry Potter. A lot of people don't like the Harry Potter books. So it's all up to personal family needs. So I guess I don't really have any don't read books because just because I don't want to read them doesn't mean that somebody else wouldn't want to read them. There's not really any book that I say no go for my kids unless it's way above their currents. Like I read in high school, I was told to read the book Speak. That was a horrendously traumatizing book for me to read due to my circumstances at the time. Previous to reading that book, circumstances that were already taken care of legally and everything and all that. It was just, I wish I could have opted out of that book. I wish somebody had warned me what the book was about. Versus just handing me the book and saying, hey, so I wish I could have opted out of that book. I wish there was a way for me to have been like, hey, that book isn't going to be good for me right now. I should not read that. And honestly, I don't think any child should read that book. It is graphic and hard subject to swallow when you were like 12, 13 years old. It is not something I would have make a freshman, 8th grader read. There was another book I read. I can't even remember the name of it, but I know it was in 8th grade and it was like a short story. And it was about this island. It was a short story book about this island where people were going for a large supper, supposedly. And then it turned into this hunt, and they were hunting each other. Like that was the whole point of the island they ended up on. Like I don't even know why that was a book I had to read, like a short story. I don't understand. It's things like those that I wish that's part of the reason we homeschool. I don't think those books should be read to 8th graders and freshman high schoolers, and that's my personal opinion. And there's a lot of people that don't agree with me on that. So that's okay too. It's just my point is it's everybody's homeschool. It's everybody's personal opinion. It's your family, it's your homeschool, and you get to choose what you want to do. And that's the amazing part about homeschooling, is that you get to choose what your kids are exposed to. And like I read it from Shauna, but I know she got it from somewhere else. It's not that we're keeping our kids in a bubble, it's that we're putting our kids in a greenhouse so they have the most optimal chances of growing and thriving versus, being shoved out in the cold, harsh world. So, but as I'm saying that, if you have a quick trip, they do book review or book Quick Trip books. I think they might only be Wisconsin. I don't know who all has Quick Trips. So if you have a Quick Trip or a Quick Star, either of those will work. I don't know what states have them. I know Wisconsin has Quick Trips and not Quick Stars. But if you meet your reading guide or your reading, it says you met your reading goal and a free slice of pizza or a garden salad. I signed up for it on their website, and they just sent me a huge packet to give to my kids as they meet their reading goals. The same thing, Pizza Hut, the Book It program that we all did when we were kids, I'm sure, because I know I did it as I was a kid. They still have that program, and it's open to homeschoolers as well. So if you're reading to your kids a ton or whatever, and you want to give them ways to earn pizzas either from Quick Trip or salads from Quick Trip or from Pizza Hut or both, because we actually do both. My kids can earn both depending on what they do. My kids get these book bucks, and they come in $1 and $5 increments. They're actually made by Barefoot in the Trees. I believe they're free from her website. Actually, I can link them below. We just print these out, and my kids get them for their chores. They get them for reading. They get them for, if they do extra things for me, they get them. Anytime they get a certain number of these, they can turn them in either for a slice of pizza or the personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. And then we also have like some toys in a bin they can turn them in for too. They can turn these in for as well. So just an idea to help with books in that general idea. But don't forget to check out the playlist and see all the other books that other homeschooling moms are suggesting or not suggesting. And I really appreciate you watching my video, and I appreciate your support. If you go ahead and like and subscribe, that helps me out so much. And like I said, I really do appreciate your support. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you next time.